Hey guys, welcome back to my kitchen. So recently I did a video talking about Melodifestivalen, which is the song competition in Sweden, which the winner then moves on to Eurovision. And Eurovision is coming up very soon in May. And so I reached out to one of the mamas. And believe it or not, I was able to interview Ash, who is one of the members of the mamas. And she's an American living in Sweden. So I thought this would be a perfect video for this channel. And this is totally different from the other videos I've done so far, but I had an amazing time interviewing her, and I learned so much about Melodifestivalen and Eurovision, and also just what her life has been like since leaving the States to move here and now be a part of this trio. And she's been in the past 3 Melodifestivalen competitions. I was so excited to be able to talk to her, and I asked her all about it, and I think you guys are really, really gonna enjoy this interview. So this will be a longer video, so I hope that you'll at least give it a shot. And here is my interview with Ash Haynes, who is one of the members of the Mamas. Well, hi. Thanks for doing this with me.
I'm so happy.
Okay, I gotta get right to one of my main questions, which is how did you end up in Sweden, and what's your story?
So I was working in DC. I don't know if you know, but before there were 3 of us, it was 4 of us. And we were just singing background for John Lundvik.
Mm.
And the 4th lady, she's the one that knew a friend of mine in DC who linked me to her. And he was looking for a voluptuous singer. And so she asked me, they linked me to the label. I sent videos and music, and that was on a Tuesday. And they called me right back and was like, can we fly you out on Thursday? And I was like, oh gosh, my passport is not renewed.
Oh no.
So that day I left work to go get my passport renewed. I didn't even know the song, John Lundvik's song from 2019. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go. I went, I met the girls, and it just clicked. Like, the song was great. We sounded good together. And then he won Mellow, and then we went to Eurovision. And after that, they asked if we wanted to be a group. I was like, of course, like, why not? Like, I like these girls. I want to hang out with them. The 3 of us went on. The 4th one, she had already had like her year planned out. So she wasn't going to be able to commit to the mamas. And so we got signed to Universal, and it's been crazy since then. So my life did a whole flip turnaround. So yeah, it's been amazing.
That is a crazy story. Oh my
I
God.
know. I quit my job and everything to be here. So it's been crazy.
Okay, so what did you do in DC? Where are you from, that area, or?
I'm from DC, born and raised, Washington, DC. That's my home. I was, of course, doing music on the side, but I was also working for the Student Exchange Visitors Program, which was, I loved that job. I had income coming in. Like,
Nice.
I knew, my life was set up. So it was a cool job. I loved it. But my passion is music. Mm-hmm. So of course I was doing my own thing, like singing here and there, doing background gigs. I've been doing music all my life. So yeah.
I bet. What were some of your bigger performances maybe before you moved here?
Bigger ones. I did a background gig with the Zac Brown band. I don't know if you've heard of them, but it's country. Zac Brown is a country guy. And it was at an arena in Philadelphia. It was the biggest show I've ever done in my life because the arena was packed to capacity. My gosh. I've never felt anything like that. And looking back in retrospect, I do think that was kind of like setting me up for what I was going to experience here. Like a stepping stone. It was insane. I'd never seen anything like that. The energy that you get from the crowd, I was just like, I need more of this. Between that and coming here, just singing in the DMV area, it was kind of like DMV is DC, Maryland, Virginia. I don't know if you know that.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Well, my first thought
like,
was
what's DMV?
well, because DMV is like where you get your licenses. It's like,
exactly.
Okay. Love singing at the DMV.
I love singing there.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I mean, like DC, Maryland, Virginia, singing in the area, it was starting for me to get a little bit redundant. I just wanted more. And since I wasn't getting more, I was starting to give up. I was like, my prayer before getting the call to come here was, God, if this is it for me, singing here in my hometown, then you can take it away. Like, I'm good. I don't want to sing anymore. Like, that was my attitude. And then I started to work on myself because I knew that was negative. And I started to work on myself. And as soon as I started to work on me and having peace and being whole and confident, I got the call to come here. So life is funny that way. So
that's so crazy. Oh my gosh.
I know.
I definitely
it's super
believe.
Inspiring.
Yeah. And I totally believe in like fate and karma and like, that's so amazing.
As soon as you change your mindset, as soon as you change your perspective for the better, things start to happen that you could never imagine. And I could have never imagined that I'd land here.
Oh my God.
In a group.
So what was like the timeline there? Because now you've done 3 Melodifestivalen. So what is that timeline of when you find out you'll be in the show to rehearsals and that kind of stuff?
When I got the call, it was before the semi-finals. And that Saturday, we had the rehearsal for John. We went to the semifinals that weekend, and we got to the finals.
Okay.
So then we got to the finals. I went back home to work. Yeah. I went back home. I went to work, but I told my job, hey, the competition I was in Sweden, we're going to the finals and I need more time off. And they were like, no. Yeah. So they said no. And I was like, okay, what am I supposed to do? My first inkling was to just be like, okay, I'm sorry, I can't come back to the finals. That was my first thing, because it was like, I either don't go back or I quit my job. And I was so comfortable with my job that I was like, really, it was a tug of war in my mind. What should I do? And I talked to my mom. She was like, you'll never get a chance like this again. Just quit.
Okay.
What? And she's like, yeah, just quit. I got your back.
Thanks, Mom.
So exactly. So I quit the job. I came back. Then we decided to become a group.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. And that was September 2019. They were like, okay, you have to move here. Like we can't keep flying you back and forth if you guys are going to be a group in Sweden. Yeah. So I moved here 2019, September. After that, they were like, okay, so do you guys think you could do Mellow? Do you want to do Mellow? And we're like, yeah, like in our own right. And as a group, yes, we were just background singers the first time.
Right.
So we did that. We got a good song. And that was insane. The studio session recording the song, we were crying. We were like, this is meant to be. We loved the song. I mean, and then the writers, they were so supportive and so uplifting. They really wrote the song for the models. It was for no one else. So, and then we win the finals. That feeling, having all those people in the arena, insane. I can't even tell you how it felt, because it was just crazy. It was good.
71 poäng. Och det betyder att den 60:e vinnaren och vinnaren av Melodifestivalen 2020 är Bananas!
After that, Eurovision got canceled.
Yeah.
Now, that was like breaking up with a boyfriend or something like that. Yeah, it was so hard. Like, it was maybe 3 days to like kind of get the emotion and the loss out of us. Then we were like, what shall we do? I mean, there's no real work, paid gigs that we could get because of COVID. So that was really, really hard for not just us, but our whole team, like our managers and everyone, trying to figure out what we could do.
Yeah.
And then we are recording our Christmas EP with Robin Sternberry. I never know how to say his name.
I just found this out. Quernberry.
They tell me all the time, and I'm still like, Quernberry. Yeah. But then he's like, listen to this song. And he was like, you guys could do this on Mellow. And we're like, again, Mellow? Like, you think so? But we love the song. So we recorded it. And after we recorded it, of course, we were crying and all emotional and stuff.
This group sounds awesome. You guys are just crying all the time.
Yeah, go on, cry. It's all right. That whole session was just amazing. And that's when we decided, okay, we need to do the competition again, if not just to win, but to give back to the people that have supported us.
Aww.
When Eurovision was canceled, the people were just so uplifting and still believing in us and still following us. So it was like, we got to do something for our family and for our people. So we did it. February 2021.
Oh my gosh.
And it was so much fun. It was really fun. And Tusse is just that kid. He's only 19 years old.
I know.
But he has such an inspiring story and such charisma, not just on stage, but off stage as well. And he's on the same label as us. So we were so happy.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
We were so happy that he won for 2021. So I don't know if that kind of gives you a timeline, but
no, that does. I mean, hearing that Tusse is just as like friendly and charismatic behind the scenes, like, oh, that's what you always want to hear, right? You don't want to hear that somebody's like totally different person off stage. So, that's so nice. You said that you heard like a demo created by Robin, or is that to the song In the Middle? I want to know what that demo sounded like. Was it just him? Like what is this demo?
Yeah, it was him. It was just him singing In the Middle, and his voice, insane. So it wasn't that hard to sell us on the record because he's amazing. So yeah, it was him.
Did he do like a 3-part harmony? Like how did he?
Of course.
Okay, so he did record each part.
He's so extra. He's like, and he loves choir sound. So he's like dubbing the voices in the background.
Oh
and
my
then
gosh.
Some spaces where we have where we did the song and we have like choir in the background, he didn't, but he could hear it. And he was like, can you hear you guys choir in the background? He's so animated. He's like, can you hear that? Like, yeah. And then we got the bass.
You're like, maybe.
Okay, Robin, okay. In the first verse where I'm singing, sometimes I'm lost and feeling low. The Waves version, it's like I'm drowning. When I get far away from home, like I'm far away from home. And I do forget sometimes that I'm surrounded by people that love me. And that was something that he explained in the beginning. He was like, this is your verse. You have to sing this verse. So
were there other songs that you guys were considering for Mellow, or was it just this one?
It was just this one. We weren't going to do it. Like, to be honest, I mean, it wasn't something that we were going to do. I know Lulu kept explaining, like, if we get a good song, then I'll do it again. But me, I was out. I was like, no, I don't need to do Mellow again. Like, I'm good.
Oh my gosh.
Both Dina and I, we were kind of like, no, we don't need to do it again. It's fine. It's fine. Like, let's just move on. But then the song came, and that was the deciding factor. This song.
Wow. What about the previous year with Move? Was that the only song that you guys were kind of
No, we had more songs. I think it was maybe 2 other songs. We chose from those 2, and then we got Move. And so it was between that one song and Move. And for us, Move was just it. We knew, like, Move was it. So
what happened to the other song? Do you know?
It's just sitting somewhere.
That's crazy to me. Like, it didn't.
It didn't make the cut.
Oh man. Okay. What's
Okay.
your favorite song out of any of the ones that you guys have recorded, but especially between Move and In the Middle? Do you have a favorite?
I think I love them both equally.
Boo.
I mean, they're so different from each other. They're so different. I think I like Move more because Move is more uppity. It kind of gets you moving a lot more, especially with the everybody want to move like.
Yeah.
You kind of got that, like, fun part. But then In the Middle, it's so personal, the message. I think it's a more mature sound than Move. It's personal in the meaning. So it's hard to choose. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I like how you explain why you like both of them. But yeah, they are very different. So
yeah. Which one do you like the most? Tell me.
In the Middle.
I knew it.
For me, it's got to be the key change. And I just feel like it kind of has that epic sound to it. Yeah. But I totally agree. Move has more of that, more of like a dance vibe.
Cheeky,
like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One reason that I fell in love with Mellow was just the actual performances as well. Like sometimes the performance sells the song more than the song does, and vice versa. Yeah. And so for me, In the Middle was the whole package. I think one of my favorite YouTube comments was I never knew how much I needed the mamas walking in sync. It's so true. When you guys would just stomp around, it's love it. I watched it so many times. Do you get paid anything for being in Mellow or in Eurovision?
Nay.
Really?
No.
Okay.
It's all promotional. It's all for the experience, especially for the artists. We don't get paid for this.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Which I feel I would volunteer, no problem. I don't need to be paid. But it's but do you get paid?
But what comes out of it is so much, especially pre-COVID. I mean, if you win, you get so much work that is paid. Gosh. So it's crazy promotion doing the competition, both of them. Even if you don't win, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's been pretty incredible hearing, some of the finalists for Mellow that, I just hearing their songs on the radio is just really crazy to think that, just normal artists kind of got this big boost in their career and suddenly they're on Swedish radio. That must be so exciting.
It really is. It's so exciting because it's when you're in the Mellow bubble, you kind of are out of touch with the outside world and radio, of course. So then when you come out and you're in a taxi and your song comes on the radio, it's oh my God.
Has that happened? Yes. Did that actually happen? Oh my gosh.
Yes. It's happened many times. Or you're
How many taxis are you in?
we take a taxi every gig or everything everywhere we have to go.
What's it been like adjusting to Sweden and any surprises from living in Sweden?
It's been cool. I mean, the only adjustment is a whole month of darkness. I think it was November. It was just so dark every day. That was an adjustment, trying to make sure I keep myself positive and lifted, even though the world seems so dark. That and dating has been weird. For
Do
me,
tell.
I mean, I just feel maybe I'm just too much. I'm so outgoing and forward, and I think maybe guys can be a little bit intimidated by that. Or I've met guys where I had to pull it out of them. Do you like me? I mean, I think you do, but you haven't really said it, or they're so reserved. Swedes are so reserved. Actually, I just met a guy, so I'm really happy. But previously, it's been a struggle. So dating was just different. It's all new to me. but I love it. I'm loving it.
Although I totally know what you mean with like just being way too forward. That must be an American thing, because I've been told that a couple times where like I'll say something and then afterwards someone will come up to me being like, I'm so glad you said that one thing because I was thinking it but I didn't want to say it. I'm like, what? Why am I the one who has to say it? How's the language been? Have you been learning Swedish?
Little. I've been trying to learn little phrases here and there, and the girls always teach me stuff. So sometimes we'll be talking about something, and then the girls will branch out and speak Swedish, and I'll kind of know what they're talking about. But I don't know. I mean, it's a hard language. Like, it's so hard.
I know what you mean.
Everyone speaks English, so
I know it's right. It's like a blessing and a curse. Like you try to learn it, but then they all speak English anyway. So I definitely understand when it's all Swedish, you start to just zone out and like, yeah, they're like, I don't know. I'll wait till something else happens. So
exactly.
But I do hope that the Swedish gets easier for you. Like my take on learning Swedish is that the actual grammar part is really similar to English, which is nice. So like the actual sentence structures are almost the same. It's the pronunciation that is super hard. They've got the weird vowels that like are just American English. You cannot adjust your vowels that way. So yeah.
Like chicken. I was like, kickling? And everyone's laughing at me. Oh, no. I'm like, what? Kickling? They're like, no, honey. No, that's not right.
Kickling. There you go. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yes. I wanted to ask you this. So this year, I think for the semifinal and the final, there was no audience at all. Is that true?
None whatsoever.
What was that like compared to last year, having an audience versus not having one?
Yeah. It was different. It was weird, to be honest. It was kind of weird. Someone did a reaction and they were like, Ashley, she needs that audience. And I could have taken that the wrong way, but I need that audience. I do. That was a moment for me to think, do I need the audience? Yeah, I need the audience because they give you something. They give you that adrenaline and that love that you need to do what you love. Like I need the audience. It was really, really weird, but it was good to know that people were watching at home. Nobody has anything to do, so it's like
everyone's tuning in.
Mellow. So I had to have that like locked in my mind. Like, no, you have an audience. They're just at home. It was definitely weird. Don't have those claps or those fake claps. They don't do that.
Didn't do it for you?
They didn't do it for me, girl. They didn't do it for me.
Do you think the other two felt the same? Do you know?
Yeah, we've done a couple interviews where we all kind of felt like we were missing that. We love to perform in front of a crowd, and comparing 2020 to 2021, it was so different. It felt a little bit weird.
That's really interesting. I do understand that having that energy really helps, but I also feel like some of the nerves could maybe be taken away if you don't have the audience. But I'm someone that would be nervous performing in front of a large crowd. So I don't know. Yeah. Do you think you were more or less nervous performing?
No, I think my nerves were still really bad. Like not bad, but like good nerves where you want to do a good job. And you don't have the interaction with the crowd to know that you're doing a good job. You know, when you have the audience, they're screaming and they want more and they're happy and you can see that, you can feel that. Yeah. But then without it, knowing that people are watching at home, you don't have that interaction. And nerves are good because it means you take what you're doing seriously.
Oh, this is really lame. It's my very first question I wrote down was, okay. Are any of you guys actually moms?
I'm really? The only one that's not a mom.
Whoa, okay.
The other two have 2 kids.
Oh my
2
gosh.
kids apiece. Yeah.
I really didn't think any of you guys had kids. I was like, okay, the name, but
They're the mamas.
yeah, like what?
The name was actually a joke. It wasn't even gonna be that. Like, it just stuck after a while. Because Beyonce has her background singers are called the mamas. And so John was like, I want my own mamas.
Oh.
And so we were like, okay, yeah, we'll be your mamas. And it was just a joke. Yeah, and then it just stuck, and people started calling us that. So
that's so cool. I love stories like that. Like, were there any other options for names, or was it just
we weren't going to be a group? We didn't even know we were going to be a group.
Oh my gosh!
Before the name just stuck with us, so we never had to think like, what could we call ourselves? It was never a question.
How has your family reacted to you being in Sweden?
They have been so supportive, and they are just so proud that I, took a leap of faith and uprooted my entire life to a whole nother country.
Yeah.
And they're so supportive, and they've watched Mellow, they watch Eurovision. My family, my mom especially, she's been unbelievably supportive and encouraging, and I would not be able to be here if it weren't for her. Aww. She's amazing. I love that woman. She's like my best friend. So yeah.
I mean, from what you've told me, she told you to just quit your job. So she's
exactly.
She encourages you. Like,
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's really important. Yeah. That's so great that you have
Definitely.
her.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen my other videos, but I made a video about the top 10 things I learned in Sweden. And one of the things I mentioned is that everyone uses shoe horns here.
Right. We don't use them at home. Only like old people use them at home.
Right. Like to me, that's what I think of when I think of shoe horns. And I'm not kidding. This video that I posted has like hundreds of comments that are like, I love shoe horns. I'm like, okay. Like,
I could get why people love them. I mean, yeah, you can put them on easier without having to bend over, especially, wow, I should get a shoe horn. I don't know.
I'm trying to keep you on my side here.
I just thought about it like, wait, I don't have a shoe horn, but I know I'm a big woman. So every time I'm bending down, trying to put my shoes on, I'm like, whew, okay, I come back up and I'm like, whew. But wait, if I have a shoe horn, I don't have to really bend that much. And I could just, wait, how do you even use a shoe horn? Wait, is it just a stick? Wait, no. It has like a curve on it.
Yeah, there's like a part that goes into the heel, and then you try to slide your foot in. But for me, if it's like tennis shoes, you still have the tongue that you need to like make sure. So I feel like you're still bending down, but I don't know.
See, then no, I don't need one.
Cool, I got you back on my side.
Yeah, you don't need one. And in the summer, you don't need one because you're wearing sandals. Who needs, no. But yeah, Swedes, every house I go to or everywhere I go to, there's a shoehorn. And I'm like, I never use it. I see it, but I never use it. Yeah, it's like a thing.
It's a thing. It's a thing.
Yeah. And even taking your shoes off, like that's a thing too.
Yeah.
Like, even at the studio. I'm like, oh, okay.
What? At the studio?
Yeah, if you go to the studio, like some of the recording studios, everyone's walking around with no shoes. And it's like, take your shoes off. And I'm like, okay. What? I guess this is nice because you get to be comfy and walk around.
I just feel like
I know why. I know why now. At first, I didn't know why. I thought it was like a respect thing. Okay. But I know now it's for germs because you could be tracking like dirt or like poop or like something on the bottom of your shoes and walking around.
I just feel
that
like
was what I thought.
I mean, I'm just gonna say there's been a lot of buildings I've walked into and was okay with my shoes on. Like I didn't get deathly sick because of my shoes being on. I just feel like everyone has stinky feet, and now everyone is just walking around with smelly feet. I don't get it.
Your socks are dirty, sir. So you've had those on for a while.
Yeah, like it's like, oh, please keep your shoes on. I don't.
I can't do. I think about that, and then some other things in Sweden, like they have like the big block of cheese.
Yes.
And you take the shaver thing and I remember I took it and I was like digging to get like a big thing. And so now the cheese has a slope and people are like, Swedes are looking at me like, did she really just do this to my cheese? I'm like, wait, did I do something wrong?
Like, I've gotten used to the block of cheese thing, but then whenever I just explain to people, I'm like, they just sell sliced cheese in the States. You don't need
exactly.
It's like they did it for you. You just buy it.
Just buy your sliced cheese and eat it. And we gotta have a whole block of cheese, and you gotta be mad at me because I'm trying to get a real slice of cheese.
Right. And then the edges get hard, so you always have to waste a bunch of it anyway. So it's like
Exactly. That's so funny. Oh, this is so funny. I want to do a whole video of different things in Sweden that are like,
hey, you said it, not me. But maybe part 2, we can do a little
let's do it.
If you're down, once this video comes out, if you're up for another one, I totally am.
I am so down, Megan. Like, just send me an email, girl. I will definitely do it. Megan's my sister's name too, so I was like, oh yeah.
Oh,
Megan?
Cool. Okay, but does she spell it? Does she spell it the same though?
No,
they never
it's without
do.
The A.
No,
MEGAN.
The normal way. Yeah, I know. Mine's very uncommon. Anything else that you want to say to the people watching? Where can people find you online?
You can find me on Instagram at ash__.haynes. And yeah, come on over. Thank you for having me. And I hope that we can do this again. I have fun talking to you.
Oh my gosh. I would love to. That's awesome. Okay. Thank you so much. Yes. We'll talk soon. So, all right. Bye.
Bye.
Woo, outro time. I hope you guys liked this interview. I hope you found it interesting, and I hope it gets you excited for Eurovision. Believe me, I've got at least one more video coming up about Eurovision where I'm going to be talking about all of my thoughts on this year's entries. And if you guys want more interviews, please let me know. I have no idea who I'm even capable of reaching out to. I don't know. I always appreciate if you guys can leave comments and likes and subscribe. I always forget the things that I'm supposed to tell you guys to do. You guys know, that's not your first time on YouTube, probably. Okay, well, I guess that's it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Hey, do.